Okay, so here I am. It's 5 p.m. on Friday. If you have watched the Blady video before this, if you did, potentially you didn't. You know, this is Charli XCX. The angels are gonna be here. Okay, but yeah, I did the poll. Someone told me to do a poll, and I was like, okay, I will. And it was pretty quickly. It was like, okay, there's no way any other album is beating out Crash in the polls. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But from what I've seen in the comments, I feel like there could be some validity to at least doing a reaction at some point. I'll put it in underneath. It'll come. Okay. But Charli XCX, I'm excited for this, I suppose. But I'm just on the fence because of how everyone was talking about it. Like, I've been hearing some murmurs. Okay. I haven't heard any of the songs on here. Like, I haven't checked out any of them, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm certainly a big enough Charli XCX fan. Like, a few of her full projects. Pop 2, Vroom Vroom, the How I'm Feeling Now, and Charli, like all four of those are just miraculous, all of them, really. Like, I think someone who could have that many, if you have that many that I like to that extreme degree, then yeah, you've done it for me. Okay, you really have. So that's why I am a little upset with this. Like, just people saying like, we don't really know. I'm hearing like pop direction, and I did see the stuff about like her fighting people on Twitter. I saw like a joke about it. I don't know the full details. At the end of the day, I guess like no artist wants to be in that situation, but like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into it. I'll listen to the songs though, I'll react to them, and I'll just say what happens, okay? As much as I adore Charli, like, it's just, what happens, happens, okay? The music's here, I'm here, we're gonna collide.
I'm high voltage, self-destructive, ended also legendary. I'm about to crash into the water, gonna take you with me. I'm high voltage, self-destructive.
See the drum that reminds me of that Drop Top Porsche, the Finesse song with Bruno Mars. The production sounds clean though.
What's up on the car side, put it in deep dive. I'm about to crash, I'm about to crash, I'm about to crash, I'm about to crash, I'm about to crash. I'm about to crash into the water, gonna take you with me. I'm high voltage, self-destructive, ended also legendary.
I feel like I'm trying to focus on the other types of synths, but it's like not taking me on the journey I'm really wanting. Mode type vibes here, with just like a nice clean guitar, stretching this, like, it's fun. I certainly feel the fun nature of this out the gate. Like, right out from just listening to the song, like, I don't feel like sad. Like, I will say, like, it's like, oh, Charli XCX threw a curveball, and it's like, oh, like, this seems like I understood the pop, like, it's much more of this like pop centered, like, well, she always has been, but I mean, it's not really like hyper or insane. This feels like very, there's got this throwback repetition with it, but it's very clean. Like, I will say, it's very clean. The hook's fine enough. I'm fine with the hook. I do like the vocal transition at the end, though. One thing I will say nearing the end of the song is thinking, there's elements to this too where I feel like you can clip it and make remixes out of it. Like, I feel like at least having this capability for her one song, or at least all of her songs, just like single aspects of it at least, can shine and obviously be used for other things. But yeah, I do like this still, I'll say. Caroline Polachek, I'm really happy about that. What's this? It is not like her other music in a way. It is like just a pop track, but vocally, Border shines out since a little bit different. You're not specifically hearing that in other pop like artists, right?
Maybe we're meant for another dimension, babe. Deep in the dark of with your brain like a star.
Caroline Queen.
You call it art, but you pulled on the heart and you twisted it into a new shape. Yeah, I'm dying for it again and again.
I don't know. I think multiple listens could help it too. I just don't think it isn't as shocking as other things I've heard from Charli XCX. And I understand that doesn't have to be a criticism. I'm not saying it's a criticism, it's just a reaction. It's like, okay, like, but still fun, still well produced, I will say. And it's catchy enough. It's catchy enough. And when I come back to it, I feel like I will be like less stripped from that upsetness of like the expectations. I do think that will be possible.
I wish you gave me a reason that you were better at leaving. No other kisses unless they're bitter. I'm hunting touches that make me weaker. You couldn't have loved
See, I already seen the remix aspects that could come as soon as this comes in. Like, it feels like things could be brought in, or things could be like, we need a stem player for this. Yeah, you know what? Catchy enough. Catchy enough. There could still be expansion, is all I'm saying. Like, by the end of the song, I'm still feeling like, yes, I like, but could have liked more. Yes, could have liked more. It feels like it could have been like a minute and a half longer to me. I don't know. But I love the synth still. I still feel like there's enough push to it. Don't really know what's happening lyrically. I'm not worried about that. But that hook though is it's satisfying enough. Just keeping above water. Okay, this one's definitely my least favorite song on First Go. Like, I don't feel like Charli's doing enough vocally that's like engaging with me. Like, it's really just thin. I don't know if this is like supposed to make me think there'll be other songs like this through here, because first three songs are good enough for me. They're good enough on First Go, I'll say. But this one... Appreciate a drum and bass element to this too. I feel like it's pushing enough too for me to be like very aware. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Big for you. It checks enough for me, I'd say. And I love Rina Sawayama's element too. Like, I think her singing is just slightly doing something different, hitting different emotional hits for me that I was like satisfied. That's the best word for it. I was very satisfied. And yeah, drum and bass element I think works for it. Like, I wasn't sure for the first little bit of the song, but once it clicks in, like I was already saying, the one criticism of like feeling like it's doing those like very familiar pop like vocal like reaching out that I've heard before, but I also have to think that am I liking this more than that? So what does that mean then? I can't get mad if it's like doing that.
I already know that go of something sacred. Drive us off the road, I take a good thing and I break it. It's something about the way you save my life. It's something about the way you hold my body tight, even though my heart's always locked down by my side, even when I'm violent. Yeah, I think it's in my soul, the way I run from something real and leave you wondering.
The softness of that is nice. That click, that hit is nice. I like that wondering too that I just heard. It's like the Weekend. You could have Weekend on here too. That would work. This is the one that's made me really been like, oh. Like I feel like the drum element of this like is the most satisfying. And hook even too. That's the 6th song on here too, so we're halfway through this. Right now it's, I guess I'm happy like enough. Like this is pretty cool, but I'm like on the fence of me feeling like, okay, is this one of those Charli XCX albums that I'm really remembering like all the other ones? I'm not sure yet, but I'm not canceling it out. That's not what's happening. It's just I'm still thinking like, okay, I really understand the pop elements of it, and they're catchy enough for me to be satisfied. I think they're well made enough off the gate. But this song I do think is the most like engaging or entertaining. Already I think it's already the most engaging on production, and like I was saying, feeling like I was getting in somewhere. And like I was saying already when listening to the song, I think there was a lengthy period of her singing where it felt like cohesive, like it was in that one like session. Sometimes you don't really feel that with pop songs, right? You feel like you're really going on to the next thing like 20 seconds in. That may be just my intention, but that's like where I was finding myself.
Baby.
It's really in your face, but I'm seeing that it's like oh, you completed the project. It doesn't hit me entirely the way I'm wanting it.
Baby, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, baby. I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, fuck you up. I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine, I'ma make you mine. You know I'm about to change your life for good. You can play pretend. That's fine. I know that you can really wish you would. I'ma make you mine, baby.
Yeah, this is boring to me. Like even that little guitar in the back. Like I feel like, oh, that's a little bit of a Lizzo thing, and then like, oh, I heard a little bit of Dua Lipa in here, and I was like, all that meshing in this to me too. It just, I don't want it. No songs strike out with Charli XCX usually. No songs at all. I should expect no songs to strike out when I listen to a Charli XCX album. That's what I should always be thinking. But that did not occur today already. Okay, but let's just hope there's no more. Let's hope it stays at 2. Okay. Already liking the guitar though.
I'm spiraling all over the place.
Some effect on her voice.
So lifted, got me reaching for grace.
I love that though. That's what it feels like to me.
Caught me by surprise.
It works well.
Break already hit me once. They say that it won't happen twice. You struck me down like lightning. You struck me down like lightning. My stupid cold on fire.
Okay, once it gets to the chorus, it's the least exciting part though. I'm not mad yet though. Okay, but then it comes back to this chorus too quickly, I will think. Like, I like the transitions are at least exciting enough. You know what I mean? Like, they're warping enough, moving enough. And the chorus isn't bad. I just feel like it lasted too long and then given too early. This one I'm almost thinking it's a miss. Almost, but I just don't feel like I can give it the full miss. I still think the boom, 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 like that in the back, that's another like Depeche Mode vibe that I feel like I'm really getting sucked into. And by the end, I wasn't as mad at the chorus. By the end, like how much it was given. And still think like what she's doing with her vocals is still pretty cool. And especially at the start, and then what she does with the chorus at the end. Yeah, honestly, I'm satisfied. I am satisfied.
When I met you, it was tragic. Chemistry, something like magic. You were with somebody else long time, and I was with somebody else as well. Met up late night by the bar. I'm hurting someone else instead.
Song works enough with vocals right now.
You're breaking every rule for me.
That was good. I like that.
Conversation never boring. I'm breaking every rule for you. But I gotta say,
I really like that. Kind of reminds me of Twin Peaks just a little bit too. And this one isn't the one trying to excite either. I really feel like this one is trying to just be like at a more of a dreamy vibe. It still has enough of that like it's a kind of a balladry more to it. But yeah, I like it.
Supposed to feel this way. I'm such a hypocrite. I always found on love is killing me and told me butterflies make me sick, make me fly away. Cheeks are red when the blood starts rushing. Yuck, that boy so much he's sending me.
It's just, it feels like it's on the same line still. That, and I don't feel like it's working with it.
Quit acting like a puppy, fuck. Going on, love you, on me. Yuck, now you got me blushing. Cheeks are red when the blood starts rushing. Yuck, that boy so much he's sending me flowers. I'm just trying to get lucky. Yuck.
Oh, to have 3 misses on a Charli XCX project, eh? Fuck. This should not be. I hope this is just this is the only time. If just because this happens once doesn't mean it has to happen again, is what I'm just trying to think. Okay?
You used to know me, now you don't. I used to be your
Reminds me of Slater, like the new album too.
Change my life 'cause I know you stay the same. Couldn't see you standing in my way. I can see clearly now. You used to know me, now you don't. You used to
Yeah, I like this vibe enough.
You said I lost my mind. No, you ain't gon' do it like that. Held me back, tied me up inside a cage. Change my life 'cause I knew you'd stay the same.
This is one of the good ones. Okay, one of the good ones. See, there's enough here for me to still be entertained. So Charli XCX has not lost a spark. Okay, there's some bumps in the road. Some bumps in the road.
When it's too much, there's a gun in my head. When it's too much, got me feeling so scared. Yeah, nothing is forever. Lucky to remember. Stay up in the moment all night, all night. Yeah, all the things I love are gonna leave it. One day I'm never gonna be there. Don't think twice, don't think twice, don't think twice, don't think about it. Don't think twice, don't think twice, don't think twice, don't think about it. When I let go, I say I live life, could appreciate it. Nothing is forever. Lucky to remember. Stay up in the moment all night, yeah. Don't think twice.
that about every song that's like just sticking within like a pop structure of 2 minutes. I think there's been enough songs that, you know, worked well enough. But here it's just, there's something missing with this one. It was catchy enough a little bit, but then going throughout it, or hearing the chorus a second time too, it's a 7. I want to give it a 7. But I don't know. Because to me, there seems to be enough moments where it's like, this could be on that 6.5. So 6.5 to 7 is what I have to give it. 6.5 to 7. It's maybe there, in between there. I don't know. Okay? Because even though I can be happy in some of the moments here, I'm still thinking that, like, I don't know if it's going to have longevity. Is this going to have longevity enough? Am I feeling like this thing being very separate from other things of Charli XCX's work, is it enough to still hook me or go, you know what, Crash had this existence for a reason, okay? This may not be Pop 2 to me, but it had this existence for a reason. I'm still kind of, I don't know. There's enough moments, right? But I don't know. Production, though, for the most part, fine enough. Or I shouldn't just say fine enough. I do think the production's really good. But some songs I just feel like they're lacking like a better structure, really. I know that they're wanting to go for simple structures, but there is moments where it's begging for more fun to be had, okay? Like, it doesn't feel, like there's moments that aren't complete, is what I'm really trying to say. And that may be what stops it from getting that 7, is if it doesn't feel complete enough. It certainly is upsetting. Certainly is upsetting, so I am just hoping that I can be happy enough coming back. I do hope. Okay, here it is, Crash. Charli XCX. This is the next day. I just listened to it, final time before I'm going to give it a score. It was a 6.5 to a 7 in the video. Like, I was feeling more 7. I was just, like, kind of on that precipice of thinking, like, there's some things here that miss it for me to say this whole album is selling it, like it's enough to give it the green check, and I'm gonna say that it's not this time after coming back. I listened to it 2 more times. It's a 6.5. It's a 6.5. I don't mind it, but there is too many just standard moments, I think. Is there non-standard moments? Oh, for sure there is. I will say I really like the 2 songs. The New Shapes and Move Me are probably my favorite ones. Like those ones I'll take with me. Those ones are certainly staying with me. I think that the singles on the first half too, it gives it more weight. Like the first half of this project has more weight. But I will say, coming back to that Beg For Me with Rina Sawayama, like that single is disappointing. Like I'd say it's not really striking out with me. But there is that certain moment where Rina really does hit like a good vocal hit, but there's just not enough for the whole song for me to really want to put it in my hand. And yeah, second half of this is where a lot of the ones I'm not fucking with are, like Baby generally upset me. Lightning, coming back to that, I was like, there's not enough here. I like the auto-tune part in this little final half, but the song's almost over. Like, I really feel like there needed to be something else. And the last 2 tracks, I think, are slightly better than what we're getting in the second half, but aren't enough, aren't striking enough in their pop elements, I really do think. Just Used to Know It or whatever is at least in this little bit of a club vibe, and I'm enjoying it, but then I'm like, okay, it reminds me of Clowns by Slater, and that song's better. I really think that song's much better. So I'll take that one instead, basically. Yeah, this is disappointing. It could have been worse, I guess. But I'd never think of a Charli XCX album that I'd want to give a score like this to. I've never thought this was going to happen. This is concerning, but this isn't as concerning. I think there's good moments, but yeah. And cycling back, I did say that, maybe I will understand why Charli XCX is going through this pop route, like making these standard pop songs. But now I say no, because sometimes I think it works, and then sometimes it's not. There's literally not enough there. And if Charli wants to go into a more, like a pop direction like this, not trying to do specifically like the more intense stuff that she was doing beforehand. Like, I don't care, you know, like I don't think that this change is supposed to change quality. But I do want stronger ideas, maybe, for sure. They can still excite more. You know what I mean? Like, I think there can still be a very exciting, memorable element to these tracks that's outside of its pop structure that doesn't completely destroy the structure of it. I think that's still possible. So, yeah, I don't know. Charli, she's gonna continue to do what she does, anyways. She works fast enough, so I will probably see what the next direction will be soon. Yeah. If there's anything else you want to see me react to, anything at all, just put a comment down below. And thank you for watching. Peace.